From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
I'm Marcus Shaw. And I'm Peter Rowan. Welcome to Deep Dive.
It is June 6th, a day that carries an immense weight in our collective memory. It is primarily marked by a massive military operation that changed the world forever. But it is also a day of surprising cultural firsts and the birthdays of some truly legendary figures.
That balance between the grand scale of global conflict and the personal stories of innovation and art is exactly what we're digging into today. We have to start with the event that defined the 20th century, the Normandy Invasion.
D-Day, June 6, 1944. It is the largest seaborne invasion in history, part of the broader Operation Overlord. Peter, the sheer scale of this is still hard to wrap your head around even 80 years later. It really is. We are talking about approximately 156,000 Allied troops landing on 5 different beaches in Normandy, France. From a governance and logistics perspective, it was a staggering coordination between the United States, Great Britain, Canada, and other Allied nations. They were facing the Atlantic Wall, a massive system of coastal defenses built by Nazi Germany. And it wasn't just the landings themselves. You had paratroopers dropping behind enemy lines in the middle of the night, thousands of ships in the English Channel, and a level of deception work leading up to it that was like a high-stakes game of chess. If the Allies didn't secure those beaches, Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword, the entire liberation of Western Europe might have stalled. While the casualties were heavy, particularly at Omaha Beach, the success of the operation marked the beginning of the end for the Nazi regime. It established a permanent foothold that allowed the Allies to begin the long march toward Paris and eventually Berlin. It is a turning point where institutional resolve and individual bravery collided in the most dramatic way possible. It is a heavy legacy to carry, but it is one that defined the modern era. While we reflect on that sacrifice, I think it is also fascinating to see who else was entering the world on this same date, albeit in different centuries. The human element continues through art and sport. Let's go all the way back to 1606 with the birth of Pierre Corneille. If you appreciate drama, you owe a lot to him. Corneille is essentially the father of modern French tragedy. Most people might recognize the name from his most famous work, El Cid. He really pushed the boundaries of what theater could be during the 17th century.
He was a master of the classical style, focusing on themes of duty, honor, and the struggle between personal desire and public responsibility. In many ways, his plays provided a mirror for the political structures of the time, exploring the complexities of power. It is a very different kind of battle than Normandy, but no less influential on French culture. Fast forward a few centuries to 1956, and we have a very different kind of icon born on June 6th, Björn Borg. Peter, I know you appreciate the mechanics of how things work, and Borg's game was a machine. Borg was the epitome of calm authority on the court. To win 11 Grand Slam singles titles is one thing, but to win 5 consecutive Wimbledons is nearly unheard of. He had this powerful serve and a double-handed backhand that revolutionized the game. He brought a level of fitness and focus to tennis that forced everyone else to catch up. He was like the ultimate final boss of the tennis world in the late 70s. That cool, detached demeanor earned him the nickname Ice Borg. And then, just over a decade later, in 1967, we get another brilliant performer, though this one is on the screen, Paul Giamatti. Giamatti is such a fascinating actor because he often plays characters that are deeply flawed or even somewhat unlikable, yet he makes them human and relatable. Whether it's his breakout in Sideways or his powerful presence in the series Billions, he has this incredible range. He brings this technical precision to his roles that I think is underrated. He can go from a grumpy wine enthusiast to a high-powered United States attorney without missing a beat. He has become one of those actors where if his name is on the bill, you know you are in for a masterclass in performance. So from the battlefields of France to the courts of London and the screens of Hollywood, June 6th is clearly a day for major debuts. And speaking of screens, that brings us to our fact of the day, which takes us back to the early 1930s. This is one of my favorite bits of history. On June 6, 1933, the first modern drive-in movie theater opened its gates in Camden, New Jersey. It was the brainchild of Richard Hollingshead.
It is a perfect example of American innovation during the Depression era. People were looking for affordable ways to escape the reality of the economy. When it opened, the admission was just 25 cents per car and another 25 cents per person. No more than $1 for a whole family to see a movie from the comfort of their own automobile.
Think about the mechanics of that. You are essentially turning your car into a private theater box. It changed the social dynamic of going to the movies. You didn't have to worry about the kids being loud or dressing up. It was a completely new way to consume media, and it eventually became this massive cultural phenomenon across the entire country.
It really highlights how technology and social habits evolve together. Just as the Allied forces had to innovate with amphibious landings, or Björn Borg had to innovate with his backhand, Hollingshead saw an opportunity to change the way we interact with entertainment.
June 6th really is a day of monumental shifts, isn't it? Whether it is the liberation of a continent, the birth of a literary giant, or just a new way to watch a flick on a summer night.
It serves as a reminder that history isn't just one thing. It is the sum of our biggest struggles and our smallest comforts. I'm Peter Rowan.
And I'm Marcus Shaw. Thanks for joining us for this look at June 6th. You can find more at deepdive.neuralnewscast.com.
Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.